crafty friends, it's Annie from Vintage Lace Journey, and today I'm going to do another video on tackling my scraps. So this is just one of my little A5 pockets with lots and lots of different pieces of scraps in. These are all brown scraps, so copy dyed papers, book pages, greaseproof paper, yeah, all sorts of scraps in there. And what I'm going to do to start off with, I'm just going to create a masterboard. Just going to pop this out a little bit. So by masterboard I mean I'm going to get some cards. So this is a nice card. I try and choose ones to do with tags. I've got this nice brown on the other side because that's the side you can journal on, and then you do your sticking onto this side. So what I'll do is I will trim this down using my trimmer, and I'm going to create a masterboard using all my bits and pieces on here. So obviously I'm not going to video me doing that if you've seen masterboards before. If you haven't, all you basically do is you just get little pieces of this, tear it off, stick it down, and you build up a whole layer. So I'll come back and show you what that looks like once I've done. So I have created masterboards with these, and like I said, if you didn't know what that is, it's just random bits of scraps of paper that you want to use up, glue them down, and that's basically it. I did make a mistake on one of these of doing it on the wrong side, so obviously to make sure you get the nice brown side, and you can just use these straightforward tags, stick it on this side, not that side, but it's fine. Now what I actually thought I was going to do is make a journal cover with this. I'm going to show you this as well. When you get, I tear a lot of book pages up, when you get that last bit on a book page, it's got the page number or the bit you don't use. I keep those separately because actually you can create a completely kind of patchwork. It's a very different type of card to the ones with all the writing on it. So yeah, don't think about throwing those little bits away. Keep those, and obviously you can create a different type of tag as well as creating the masterboard with these bits. This was a water damaged bit of paper, and I actually thought it looks quite funky. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take there's two larger bits, and I thought what I'm going to do with these is actually create a journal cover. They're different sizes where I've just trimmed them off. So what I'm going to do is the two edge pieces do have this kind of like already a bit of a, I can't remember what I said today, corner on them, and they do actually match up on this way. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to trim both of these down to, I think I said 5 inches. And that's going to create a cover. They're 6 inches wide, so I'm just going to cut these down to 5 inches. So just popping that in my trimmer. A couple of times, and then the other one just down to 5 inches. So I now have these, which will create tags inside my journal, and they are nice thick quality tags as well. So I'm going to pop them to one side, and I'm just going to show you how I'm going to create a no-sew journal. Now I've done this before, it's quite a while ago. I'm going to have this as my, I'm trying to think, I'm going to put that way because I want the back and the front to be the same. Okay, and obviously neither of these two have got anything on the inside, and I'm just going to use scrapbook paper to go over these as well. So all you do is you bring in a scoreboard, inches or centimetres side, doesn't matter. I'm going to use inches, and where you've got this kind of like cut corner here, I'm going to just mark that. It works out to just over 1/2 inch. So I'm going to score down here at 1/2 inch. Now this is really thick card, so in all honesty that's not going to work. I'm going to mark the inch. Actually I'm just going to use this as a butting tool if anything, because it's not going to go through. Yeah, it does work. I thought they were going to be too thick then, but actually, so keep running that up and down at 1/2 inch. And I'm going to fold that out like this, and I'm going to do exactly the same on my other piece. So pop that in, find 1/2 inch, actually to my thinner side, and again just run that down, up and down, and this time again I'm going to turn it over and fold it out. Now what this will do is this will create a place for you to then put your papers in between, and I'll show you what I mean in just a minute. So the next thing I'm going to do is just very quickly get some scrapbook paper. I'm going to cover the inside of these and glue it down before I start gluing my pages inside. And there we go. So all I've done is on the opposite sides of these, I have just gone over with some scrapbook paper. I haven't gone all the way to the edge because obviously this will be eventually glued together and it won't be seen, so you actually don't need to see that bit there. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to organise the papers I want inside of here. So all I've got here is some old bits of scrapbook paper and some coffee dyed paper. So I just coffee dyed paper. Obviously, it's a big rip at that bit. I'll chop a bit off. This is a German dictionary that I've done coffee dyed. This was some graph paper. I've got music paper, some more just plain copy paper, and some more scrapbook paper. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure up my first piece of paper to the size of this. Now, like I always say to you when you're doing scrapbook journals, junk journals, this kind of thing, it doesn't all have to be the size of this piece of cardboard. They can be shorter, they can be wider, thinner. So yeah, just use your stash as and how you want to. So this kind of thing I would probably put that way, but I'm going to leave it as a double spread because I can actually also fold that in as well and make this into a pocket, or double fold this into a pocket. So I'm going to actually just put this in as it is. A piece of paper. So I'm going to actually just mark this down. Now when you're doing this, your binding, like I said, it's a no-sew junk journal, but your binding will be this bit here. So what you have to do is you have to get your piece of paper to the size you want it. So I'm going to make this slightly thinner, so I'm going to make that to about there, and then chop that, make the bit smaller, I'm going to get two out of that. And obviously this little bit here will just go in my scraps, and I can use that again to make more master boards, more tags. And then this part I'm going to trim down like that. Okay, so what you'll eventually do is on each one of these, you'll all score these at the same width as you did before. So you can bring in a scoreboard again. I'm going to score this just under 1/2 inch. So where you've got your 1/2 inch mark, I'm going to go one to the left. It doesn't need to be as wide as the actual one you're using before. So just score that down, just so it kind of like gets stuck in a bit. And then again, score that down. And you'll do that with all of the pieces of paper that you're putting inside your journal. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do all my cutting first, then all my scoring. Just wanted to do that just to show you how the process of this actually works. So what you'll then do is get some glue, stick that onto here, okay, and then put the neck layers on top. Obviously where I've got the mitered corners here, that will pop out, but I can just trim them off as I go. Okay, so I've done that bit, and I've done that bit. I'm just going to pop these out of the way so they don't get muddled up. I've got some music paper, which again, I might just put that in as it is and fold that over. And that's going to create a little open out tuck spot. Put that one there. I might do the same with this one. This time I'm going to tuck it up. But then I don't need to glue all that in, do I? So, cut that bit off. In there. And this is probably the bit that just takes the bit of time to do, sew journals, making sure everything's the right height and width. I've got a dictionary page. I'm going to leave this, this is a double page spread. I'm going to leave this joined. I will then score that down there. With things like this as well, obviously it's a different language. It does actually translate it into English. Just be careful the words you're choosing are suitable for whatever type of junk journal you're doing, language-wise. I'm actually going to turn this into a mushroom journal, mushroom and fungi kind of journal. I haven't done one for a while. I thought I'm just going to have a little go at that. And this one again, just need to cut this piece off. I'm only roughly marking because I can trim them down as and when I need to. Quite a lot of scrapbook papers I'm trying to get rid of. I go through phases of buying things. Like if I see a cheap pad, I just need to give it a new home. But I must start using my stash. Again, all these bits will just go into my junk pile with scraps. There's another one of those as well. I hate when I do that. I mark it with pencil and I can't see where I've marked it. Okay, so that's probably enough. So all I'm going to do now is bring my scoreboard back in. Like I said, those two are already done. I'm just going to come down on each one and just score down. I might actually do it at 1/2 inch. I'm trying to think if I do it any less than that, it's not going to sit in very well. So I'm going to actually score it at 1/2 inch. So 1/2 inch, just fold and burnish. Just do that on all of these. And I'm going to do that on the, this is quite a fuzzy edge, I quite like that showing. So I'm going to leave that one out. This paper is quite thin, it's tearing really easily. So this is the dictionary one I said I'm going to keep together and then stick that in as it is. Gosh, that's not straight. Doesn't need to be straight, a lot of it will be hidden up. I quite like this graph paper look coffee dye because it's kind of like a blue colour in it. It goes with like a greeny funny colour. I might do that just the other way as a little extra, just because it's an off cut. Right, move that out of the way. So the next thing you're going to do is then decide which order you want these to be in. Obviously you don't want all the same kind of things together. So I'm going to have a piece of that, then a piece of that. Then I'm going to have that. Scrapbook paper, some more of that. Plain dyed paper. Put that in the back. And put that in between there. And that going to go at the end. So all you do now is come in with whichever you want as your front cover. And I'm going to have that as my back cover and this one is my front cover. Make sure it's the right way up. And you're just going to put some glue down this part here. And it does need to be quite a strong glue. Don't use things like Pritt sticks, it just won't hold it. So that's obviously where I made my original fold. And I kind of went over with the scrapbook paper. I know when I fold this, the glue is going to lift. But it doesn't matter because obviously I'm now going to glue it all together. So get this is Art Studio Tacky PVA glue. So something that's got a really good stick. And you want to be fairly generous with it. It doesn't matter if it gloops out, because you can always wipe that off. And then what you're going to start doing is you're going to start coming in with your pieces of paper. So that's the folded side that goes up. You turn that over, and then you adhere that to this part here. And like I said, you can lift it up, stick it in. Okay, and then just keep making sure that that has actually gone in. Okay, so that's my first bit done. Now you can do this as you go along, you can do it at the end. So these little bits here, because I've mitered the corners, sticking out, so just come in with your scissors and just trim them off. I'll probably do it as I go along. I don't have a really good craft knife at the minute, so I'm just cutting them as I go along. So glue down on here this time, because this is a smaller part, and then come on and then glue that on top. So making sure that lines up here. If I can rub. And on the next one. So this is the glue parts coming up, and I'm gluing down on that section there. Yep. I wouldn't use too many thick papers on here, just because it obviously will build up quite a chunky spine. Coming down again, making sure it's not sticking over the edge. Just pushing it long enough for that glue just to take hold. And then I'm just going to keep doing this process. So there we go, that is all of those chunked onto there. So I'm going to make sure the last little bits get trimmed off on these corners before attaching the back cover. Now what I might actually do is I'm going to come in with the paper clip, and I'm going to pop that along there, because I'm going to hold this together overnight just so that glue really takes. Okay, I'll put a couple of ones on here as well. You can use bulldog clips or paper clips. I'm going to do this before I put the back cover on actually, so just really holding those covers together. There we go. Because what I will eventually do is put two hole punches in the front just to do some binding on it as well. So that will all now hold together overnight before I put my back cover on tomorrow. So I'm going to leave this. I'm going to come back to you and show you what happens next. And here we have the finished thing. So I've taken my paper clips off, I put my back cover on as well, and that has all been now glued together with that spine there. Okay, now what I've gone ahead and done is I've used my crocodile, which I got for Christmas. Yay! Thank you to my husband for that. And I used my crocodile to punch 2 holes in here and just pop in a eyelet. It didn't go all the way through because of the thickness, however it has kind of squished it. I might prise those out and try and do something else, but actually trying to prise those out, it has actually stuck in quite well, because where you push the squash part, it kind of like squishes into the paper. So once I put my thread through here and tie it, it will keep them in place anyway. So I'll put the link for this below. That's Craft-UK. Craft-US is another site. If you follow my link, I do get an affiliate for anything that's bought from there, but they've currently got on a £5 sale, $5 sale. So yeah, head yourself over to Craft and see if you can pick up any bargains. Obviously, these aren't in the £5 sale, but there's lots of really good stuff in there. So this has now created my lovely thick cardboard cover. I've got scrap papers on the inside, and then lots and lots of different various widths and lengths of scrapbook papers. And like I said, some of these are big long flaps, because I'm going to do a series showing you how to then embellish and just decorate pages and use pockets and belly bands and all those things. If you're new to junk journaling, that series will be for you, because it's going to take a plain junk journal that you've made, and I'm going to show you step by step how to create pockets and belly bands and tags and all those kind of things that you put inside your journal. How to layer up kind of like when you do clusters and layer things up. How to do some stenciling, I'm going to use to show you how to do that. How to use modelling paste on pages. Yeah, lots and lots of different techniques, because when I first started, I remember going on Facebook and YouTube and Instagram and just watching lots of videos that helped me. So I thought I'd actually just take a junk journal that's got nothing in it and show you the process of how you can then make that into something completely different. So thanks for watching, crafty friends, and keep an eye out for the series of how to make a junk journal, but you know, it's how to, it's not embellish, I can't think of the right word at the minute, menopausal brain and all that. But yeah, watch out for my new series coming up, if you can stand my waffle. Take care, crafty friends. See you soon. Bye.